let's get one thing straight. Andy Byron didn't get caught. He got played. You thought this was another billionaire who slipped up at a Coldplay concert. Oh no, honey. This wasn't a scandal. This was a setup. While the stadium lights flickered and Coldplay sang about stars and surrender, a camera zoomed in on a man who built his reputation on cloud tech and data, and caught him locking eyes, leaning in, and kissing a woman who wasn't his wife. The crowd, oblivious. The band, laughing. The internet, on fire. But the woman, she wasn't laughing. She was ready. That woman was Kristin Cabot, Astronomer's chief people officer, also known internally as the Fixer. Cold, composed, calculating. You don't rise to the top of a billion-dollar startup as a woman in tech without knowing exactly how to play the long game. So why was Kristin there at Gillette Stadium with her CEO in public, knowing full well that kiss cam moments aren't random, they're submitted, curated, timed? Here's the twist. Sources close to Kristin say she asked for the seats. Section 102, row C, the prime camera zone, and she knew it. She even joked about it during a Zoom call the day before, saying, "Let's see if Coldplay captures a corporate meltdown." It wasn't a joke, it was a forecast. Andy Byron had no clue. He thought he was showing off, bringing his work wife to a concert, probably calling it innocent, professional, maybe even platonic. But Kristin, she wasn't showing off, she was dropping a bomb. The moment their public cheating went viral, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, even LinkedIn was buzzing. People weren't just reacting, they were connecting dots. The awkward body language, the way Kristin tilted her face just slightly toward the camera, the cold smirk as the stadium screen flashed. And what happened after? Oh, Andy Byron resigned within 48 hours. Kristin? She was placed on leave, but not before wiping her socials clean and locking down her DMs. Now, here's the real question Ms. Cathy is asking. Why would a powerful woman destroy the very CEO she was helping build? Because it wasn't love, it was leverage. That kiss didn't expose an affair, it exposed an agenda. Kristin wasn't just sleeping with the boss, she was aiming for the throne. And when she realized he wasn't going to hand it to her, she took the nuclear option. In public, on camera, at Coldplay. Oh baby, Ms. Cathy has only just begun. Because what happens next? It's not a fallout. It's a masterclass in revenge, betrayal, and feminine sabotage wearing designer heels. You know how this works, my people. Before they scrub the footage and send cease and desists, tap that like button, drop your hot theories in the comments, and subscribe to Ms.CathyKnows, because this is the only place that tells you what really went down behind the glam, the gossip, and the glowing stadium lights. Let's be clear about something. Kristin Cabot didn't fall into scandal. She engineered it. This wasn't some office affair turned messy. This was a blueprint. A step-by-step power grab wrapped in stilettos, mascara, and quarterly performance reviews. And Andy Byron? Just the latest name in a long list of powerful men who thought they were in charge. See, while everyone's busy focusing on the kiss, Ms. Cathy's already 3 steps ahead. We're diving into Kristin's past. And let me tell you right now, this woman didn't just kiss the CEO. She kissed every ladder she needed to climb and left the rest burning. Flashback to early 2024. Kristin joins Astronomer as Chief People Officer, public-facing, HR-savvy, reputation management queen. But insiders say she walked in like she already owned the building. Her first executive meeting? She didn't even sit at the side of the table. She took the chair next to Andy and never moved. At first, it looked like loyalty, alignment, strategy, but by quarter 2, whispers were everywhere. She's too close to the CEO. Why is she reviewing equity packages alone with him? Why did Andy start cancelling board prep calls, but always made time for Kristin? Now get this. One employee, let's call him Aaron, told Ms. Cathy that 3 months before the Coldplay incident, Kristin held an all-hands HR meeting where she said, Some people get promoted by merit, others just need better lighting. Cryptic? No, it's a warning. She was already hinting at what was coming. And it gets better. 2 executive assistants resigned quietly in April, after allegedly being pushed out for seeing too many private lunches between Andy and Kristin. Kristin started controlling internal PR comms, even rewriting Andy's speeches. And at one point, she even began sitting in on investor calls, even though her role had no financial oversight. People thought it was romance. Ms. Cathy knows it was a takeover. Andy Byron, tech nerd, policy guy, former cyber eason exec, was out of his depth. He thought Kristin was his confidant, his co-pilot, his cleanup crew. But while he was dreaming of IPOs, she was collecting every misstep, every secret, every quote he wouldn't want on record. And here's the kicker. We now know Kristin had an encrypted Google Drive tied to her personal email. Why? That's the million-dollar question. And rumor has it, it's filled with screenshots, Slack logs, NDA drafts that were never signed, and photos. What kind of photos? No one's confirmed, but Ms. Cathy got a DM from someone in legal who said she had a plan B, C, and D. The Coldplay video was just the tip of it. So now ask yourself, was the Coldplay kiss cam just a moment of weakness or a public execution of Andy Byron's image? And if Kristin was this calculated, how far back does it go? Because one ex-colleague claims she did the exact same thing 5 years ago at another tech firm in DC. Different man, same smirk, same destruction. You thought this was about Andy Byron? No, baby. He was just the pawn, the Coldplay kiss. Cam wasn't a moment of lust. It was a power move, and it wasn't aimed at the public. It was aimed at a woman 10 times more dangerous than Andy, his boardroom rival. Let's rewind the scandal. Why would Kristin Cabot risk it all? Her title, her reputation, her LinkedIn legacy, for a kiss? Because it wasn't a risk, it was a trigger. And the explosion was meant to take down someone else entirely. Sources tell Ms. Cathy there was tension inside Astronomer long before the stadium lights went up. Kristin had been locked in a months-long Cold War with another female exec, a board member and former investor who allegedly blocked Kristin's elevation to COO. The reason? Too emotional, too close to Andy, too risky. So what does Kristin do? She plays her best card, Andy himself. She gets close, intimate, irreplaceable. Then she positions herself beside him, literally, at a Coldplay concert, in front of 60,000 people, on camera. Knowing that kiss wouldn't just hurt his marriage, it would burn his credibility. And guess what happens when Andy goes down in flames? His enemies get dragged with him. That board member, suddenly under fire for ignoring HR red flags. Investors, furious about reputational risk. Legal team, scrambling over who knew what and when. And Kristin, silent, untouched, watching the chaos she triggered from her Hamptons rental. But we're not done yet, because rumor has it Kristin had dirt on multiple execs, not just Andy. Multiple employees have come forward anonymously claiming she secretly recorded meetings, saved password-protected folders, and kept logs on who was sleeping with whom inside the company. Even the IT guy quit 2 weeks ago, said his access was revoked after a mysterious data audit. And the internal compliance officer? Yeah, he's on medical leave now. Coincidence? Please, this isn't HR, it's Game of Thrones in Gucci heels. And here's the final twist no one saw coming. Not even Reddit. A private equity firm just announced they're circling Astronomer for a hostile takeover. And guess who they reached out to as a possible interim executive consultant? Kristin Cabot. That's right. The same woman who kissed the CEO out of a job might become the next face of the company. From mistress to mogul, from scandal to strategy, from kiss cam to C-suite. Because while the world gossiped, Kristin was negotiating. While Andy was resigning, she was realigning. And while Coldplay played Fix You, she was fixing nothing. She was flipping the board. So let this be a warning to every CEO thinking they can mix business with pleasure. You're not the player, you're the play. And women like Kristin, they don't chase power, they design it.